Have you been making these 3 common mistakes with manifesting your heart's desire? In this video, I'll share the most common pitfalls that keep people from their dreams and the 3-step framework for manifesting your heart's desire into reality so that you live into the person that you want to become. I'm Michelle Baker, creatrix of Art as a Soul Language. I've helped hundreds and hundreds of creative women in midlife use art to unlock their purpose, transform their lives, and express their truest self in the world. The first and very common mistake that people make when it comes to manifesting what they desire is they think you need to set a goal. We hear about goals all the time. You want it to be specific and measurable and actionable, but really goals are best for outer world things that you want to achieve, something out there like a trip to Italy or making a certain amount of money. But your heart's desire isn't actually on that level. Your heart's desire comes from a different realm, and it's something that you actually want to know in your life and feel in yourself, and that lines up better with intention. So if I was going to compare a goal versus an intention, a goal might be, oh, I want to lose 20 pounds. That's something that's specific and actionable and measurable. But an intention would sound like, I want to feel good in my body. So notice the really big difference there. This one is something that you either achieve or you don't, right? You can be working towards it and be like, oh, I didn't do it yet. I didn't do it yet. And it can have a really negative feedback cycle. But intention to feel good in my body is something that you could do today and tomorrow, but also have a larger fruition to which it can come true. And that actually provides you with a positive feedback loop, and it's more connected to how you want to feel. And that's where heart desire actually comes from. So we want to line up the tool that we're using with the particular realm that we're working with. Another common issue I see is that people aren't actually good at knowing what they desire. It seems obvious that everybody would know what they want, but when it comes down to it, so many women actually are not sure what they desire at a heart level. And that's because they have spent most of their life orienting towards everyone else, taking care of this person's needs and this person's needs. And so when it comes to, hey, what do you most desire? It can actually be very challenging to answer. And then one last issue that I see in the realm of intention setting is that sometimes people actually set an intention that's more like a stepping stone. Instead of saying and declaring to themselves and to the universe, this is what I really truly desire, they accidentally say, oh, I want this, because they think, their mind thinks that this is on the way to that. But when it comes to intention setting, you don't need a stepping stone. You actually want to declare the full fruition of what it is that you're going after and skip out any middle steps, because really the how isn't up to us. That's something that will unfold of its own making. A second mistake that people make with manifesting their heart's desire is thinking that they just need to think positive. Thinking positive is a mindset level approach that is helpful. You do want to have a positive mindset, but let's just think about it. Is my mind the only part of me? Is it the only part of me that's able to call things into my life? No, in fact, your mind is responsible for a small portion, and what's much more largely responsible for what you call into your life is your inner world. And if you don't already have the thing you desire, you can actually guarantee that you have some sort of block that is in the way of you getting to what you desire. And so a counterintuitive step to manifesting what you desire in this life is to actually turn towards and uncover what is blocking you in the inner world. If you're just thinking positive all the time and avoiding going to any of the deeper places within you where there might be a block or a wound that's holding you back, that's actually a kind of spiritual bypassing, where you're hoping that if you just think positive and sort of raise your vibration, that you're going to be able to skip over any of the fear or worry or anxiety or healing that needs to happen and somehow magically make it to the desired state of being that you have for your future. But the only way there is through. You're not going to be able to get there by skipping over anything that's actually in your inner world that's been holding you back. And you don't even have to be scared of those things, because truly they're all parts of yourself that are just raising their hand and saying, hey, I still need a little bit of love and attention. So there's actually a way in which self-love is practiced by going down into the deeper places and really attuning to what's there and helping those old parts of self that might be holding on to wounds from the past update to a new level of being, instead of trying to skip over them entirely and tell them to just think positive. A third mistake when it comes to manifesting what you really desire in life is people think, oh, I'm going to make a vision board. And vision boards are great. I'm not against vision boards at all. But a vision board is typically made with magazines and found images. And again, that works best for the outer world things. Yes, you can find a picture of Italy or a bunch of money if that's what you're trying to manifest. But when it comes to your inner world desire of what you want to feel in your life and in yourself, you're not going to find images that convey the essence of that. And in fact, there's a way in which you want to be more engaged than just simply cutting things out and gluing them down. In fact, I've made so many vision boards in the past, and if you're like me, I hang it on the wall and I completely forget that it's there. So there's such a low level of engagement. And yes, it could be working on the subconscious level, but again, what's happening at the mind level is outer world things. Yep, maybe I did manifest that trip to Italy, but if what you really want is to feel good in your body or to be confident in expressing yourself, that's not going to happen because you have a picture from a magazine cut out and posted on your wall. So let me tell you the 3-step framework that does help you manifest your desires into reality. Step number 1 is to get to the root of what's blocking you and then shift it. So this is where we are not bypassing over what's actually going on, and we're really honoring the way in which parts of our system might be a little bit frozen or protectionary in a way that's limiting and keeping us back from becoming who we want to be. And the way we shift it isn't by pushing it away or telling it it's stupid, but actually by honoring the fear or the worry that it's holding on to, and then helping shift it at a deep operating system level so that it is able to come to this new level of like, oh, it's 2023. I don't have to worry about that anymore. So it's not happening at the mind level. It actually needs to happen at the body and the heart level for you to really experience the benefits. You can think of this step as clearing out the garden before you're going to plant new seeds. You want to really pull out all the old roots and things that you don't want to have growing anymore. Pull out the dandelions and the weeds and clear out the garden bed, and then you're going to plant the new seeds, right? It doesn't make sense to plant your seeds when you haven't done that first step. And so that's what you're doing to truly manifest your desires, is you are clearing out the blocks that are in your way so that you are free to grow the plants and the fruit and the flowers that you are focused on. Step number 2 in the 3-step framework for manifesting your desires is uncover your heart's desire and then create intention around that. As I was telling you, most of the women that I work with, they don't actually know what their truest heart desire is. So you might be thinking, yeah, I think I know what I want. But if you're like, I think I know, and I'm not entirely sure, it's likely that you could benefit from some deeper excavation. The way we help people with this in my women's program is by taking them on a deep dive exploration of their feminine energy and their true feminine gifts. Because we live in a patriarchy, so most women have been living most and all of their life in the masculine energy. And so part of what they truly desire is a little bit lost and disconnected from them because it actually resides with their true feminine energy. So by going into and reclaiming all of that feminine energy and the gifts that reside there, it actually opens women up to what it is that they truly, truly desire. And then from there, we create a powerful intention that's connected to that desire, something that has a very strong, sexy verb and is clear, and an umbrella intention that really holds a lot of the things that they're wanting underneath of the larger umbrella. And then step 3 in the framework for manifesting your desire is to go on a spiritual manifesting journey. So a lot of people think that it's enough to just set an intention, and wait for the universe to bring that to them. But it's quite passive, don't you think? Instead, what you actually can do, and what's so much more satisfying, is to embark on a journey. It's already happening when you're going into the inner world and finding the deeper blocks that are holding you back. You are actively engaged in the process of going after what you want and healing the heart along the way and updating your old inner world operating systems and then setting the intention. Then last, what we do in my program is we use art and a big painting like the ones that you see behind me to create into being what it is that you most desire. So the painting itself creates this journey for you, starting from the beginning of what is this going to look like to me? What does it feel like to me? Only I know. I'm the definer and the creatrix of it. And then how do I start? And what do I do in the middle? And what do I do here when I get stuck? And every aspect of the painting becomes the manifesting journey, helping you call in and determine what it is that it looks like and feels like to you. And so that active process of spiritual manifesting energetically calls into being what it is that you most desire. And that is what we do in my Wild Women Soul Purpose program. So if that's something you're interested in, I'll make sure to put a link below this video to it. And I'll also share a link to my free guide to using art as a soul language. If this is interesting to you and you're like, oh my God, I need to know more. And if you found this video useful, please give it a like or leave a comment, because that just helps me reach more and more people.